Hey guys, Centauro here, and welcome back to Connected Hearts, and we'll see if hopefully we can get this little girl out of the damn forest. So, well, I think we should get prepared. Mysteriously, all the exhaustion from before had disappeared. Now that I realize I'm so calm, as if nothing had happened, as if I had woken up just a few minutes ago. There's no sweat, thirst, or any other evidence of me running for my life before. Anyway, I try not to think about it. Instead, I focus my attention on what we could need. I take an oil lamp there is in the room and watch it with curiosity. They never run out of oil. I blink, surprised after hearing it. Understood. Thank you for telling me, Mary. Besides a lamp, it would be good to bring some kind of weapon. The closest I can find is a loose board in the cabin. The piece of wood is sturdy enough to be used as a baseball bat. Damn! I hold it tight for a second before letting out a long sigh. Then I look at Mary, forcing a brave smile. I think it's time to go out. Yes, she said, nodding. Then I see her hug her plushie tightly. Without wasting time, I start walking toward the exit, not knowing what to expect. I only hope that if we find any more wolves, they are slow at first. I'm about to cross the broken door of the cabin when I notice something. There's another note nailed on it, a new one, right beside the old. With curiosity, I read what it says. Your best friend is someone who can't talk. It doesn't complain or make fun of you behind your back. Once again, I feel a chill run up my spine. Every message is worse than the last, no doubt about it. Then I shake my head, leaving the note away. Leaving the note. Okay, cool, awesome. Mary stares at me, confused. Doesn't it say something bad? No, it's just weird. I ignore it and we begin to walk across the forest with the lamp on to light our way. Once again, the crunching of the leaves reaches my ears. You should turn off the lamp. I look down at her with curiosity. No, I think it's better like this. But if you don't turn it off, the wolves will see us. I see her tremble as she says that. I know, but actually I would like for a wolf to find us before reaching the cave to test my theory that they're afraid of loud noises. And if it doesn't work, we can always turn off the lamp and run. I smile nervous, begging in my mind to be right. It's easier to escape from one or two wolves in the forest than inside a cave. Mary covers her face with the plushie, acting shy. I understand. She doesn't sound convinced, but she's not brave enough to complain. I sigh, feeling somewhat guilty, then set my eyes to the front. Is this a way to the cave? Yes, just keep going straight. I nod, taking a deep breath to steel myself. Alright, let's go. After saying that we both keep silent as we slowly walk to the cave, I don't turn off the lamp, but do lower the light. Don't want to call too much attention and then find myself surrounded by wolves. I stay alert, waiting for a wolf to appear at any moment. However, not a single one does. Time passes in complete silence, with the exception of our own steps. It's so calm that for a moment I relax, forgetting of the danger. I start thinking the wolves might be sleeping. I guess at some time they too have to sleep, or at least that's the only explanation that comes to mind. I don't notice the second pass or the moment I held Mary's hand, walking beside her while holding the lamp with my other hand and the board I took as a weapon under my arm. This is the place, she said, then pointed at a big cave in the middle of the forest. I blink, surprised. It's really huge and much scarier than any other place in this forest. Calling it haunted wouldn't suffice. The air coming out from it is so cold, so freezing, and with the presence beyond scary. It's almost as if we were going into the mouth of a beast. The only thing missing are the teeth at the entrance. Gary, do we really have to get in? Mary asks at the same time she pulls my hand. The gesture is enough to know she wants to stop me. I turn to her and shyly smile. I guess we can always go back, I said before looking down confused. No, I apologize. I don't want to go back. If we do it now, I'm afraid we'll never have the strength to try again. Besides, we haven't seen a single wolf. Maybe this is our best chance. Mary doesn't answer with anything other than a fragile look. She holds my hand tight. It's easy to notice she doesn't want to do it, but for that very reason, I think we should go on. I want Mary to escape and meet a better place. Let's just hope that's not heaven, man. You know, if it exists and all. I feel bad thinking on the long time she must have spent in this forest. Then I take a breath and look forward to the entrance, overflowing with darkness before us. Don't let go of my hand, I said before starting to walk inside. To say I'm not afraid, too, would be a crude lie. My heart beats uneasy. I get goosebumps feeling the cold air caressing my skin. At any moment, a wolf could come out, or more than one. That idea repeats itself in my mind without end. But mysteriously, after many minutes of walking, we still haven't found a single one. There are plenty of tracks and even some bones, but they don't seem recent. I don't get it. It's as if they'd vanished without a trace. I thought this was the wolf's cave, I asked with curiosity, always looking at the front. It is. This is the cave, I'm sure. Mary explained, slightly angry, then exclaimed with curiosity. In that case, I guess they moved somewhere else. Or maybe they are just one, but well, so much better for us. None of my explanations convinced me. Isn't all this just too easy? I'm afraid this is all a trap. But can the wolves even plan something like that? It sounds impossible. Look, it's one of those notes, Mary said, letting go of my hand for a second time to point at the white sheet between a pile of dry bones. You are right, I murmur, confused, doubting for a second before getting closer to pick it up. Thankfully, the bones had no smell or meat, nor they seemed to be human. I guess the idea of picking up a message from a pile of bones should be scary, but I'm actually more worried for what it has written on it. If you see their faces directly, you will discover a frightening secret. I go quiet, unable to understand it. Now it seems anyone who wrote it was making fun of me. What does it say? Mary tilts her head as she stares at me with curiosity, noticing I haven't been quiet for too long. I swallow, feeling my saliva bitter. The seconds pass without an answer as I stare at the note absent-minded. And then, suddenly, I smile. I can't read it. It's too dirty. I see. Mary blinks and then looks away, forgetting about it. I said a lie, but I doubt it would do her any good reading it. I read it one last time before leaving it right where I found it. Then I walk back to Mary, but with every step I take, I think again, what could that secret be? Gary? She asks suddenly. What's the matter? I see her blink as she stares at me with curiosity. I shake my head to clear my mind, and then make a small smile. Nothing. I was just lost in my thoughts. After saying that, I hold her hand. Come on, we should keep moving. Yes, was her simple answer, looking more relaxed now than we had a few minutes inside the cave without finding any danger. I'm glad to see that, but at the same time I am worried about what happened with the wolves. Anyway, without us saying a word, we continue moving. As we get deeper, the air becomes colder and the traces of life even less common until they disappear completely. There are no more bones or tracks anywhere, not even moss. I suddenly stop and turn to see Mary. Strangely, she didn't seem uneasy, not even bored. It's as if holding my hand was all she wanted. Mary, are you sure that crossing this cave can escape the forest? Yes, I'm sure. I read it in one of those notes long ago, she explained before lowering her sigh and holding tight her plushie. But I've never been here before. I didn't imagine it would be a maze. I understand. It's not like we're going wrong. It's just the path is much harder than we expected. I let out a sigh in frustration, taking a couple of seconds to rest before moving on. And then, we suddenly find a fork in the path. In front of my eyes, I see 3 different possibilities. From each of them comes out cold and moist air. I light them with the lamp only to discover they extend deeper than the light can reveal. They seem to go on forever, taking us deep underground. My heart almost stops beating before the idea that we would be walking forever inside the cave. Nervous, I look back. The entrance is too far to be seen, but I have a sensation that even if I go back, I wouldn't be able to find it. I sigh, closing my eyes for a moment in a gesture full of frustration. Here's another one of those notes. I open my eyes when I hear Mary's voice, seeing her crouch to pick up a new sheet of paper. Truth is, I have no desire to read what it says. I don't expect anything good. There's no right way, just moving forward, she said, reading the message. My face goes pale with surprise. Wait, what did you say? Mary turns to me and nods. That's what it says. Then she walked to me and offers me the paper. Not wasting time, I read it. There's no right way, just moving forward. You are right, was the only thing I could come up with. Do you think it's a clue? After saying that, Mary looks up at my eyes, then she tilts her head and blinks with curiosity as she waits for my answer. Yes, it seems so. I scratch my head, confused. Then I turn my sight to our options, with a more serious look. Which path should I take? Let's just go to the center, cause it just says to move forward. We walk in silence across the narrow passage, holding hands to avoid getting separated. We keep moving on a straight line for an unknown time. I don't know if it were a few minutes or a couple of hours. It felt as if I was sleepwalking, obviously, oblivious of the passage of time. I could well be eternal. Well, it could well be eternal, and have been walking for years without end. I don't come back to my senses until we reach a big open space inside of the cave. I'm surprised, or rather astonished, seeing 3 new paths opening before us. It's like the other time, Mary murmured. Quickly, the surprise vanished, leaving in its place a heavy frustration. It isn't a coincidence, right? Of course not. It's impossible. It is. Which way should we go now? I don't know, I said, thinking she was calm for how complicated her situation was. I guess she wasn't able to understand it. Considering it's giving us the same options, I mean, we could just try straight again and see what happens. And once again we walk holding hands across a path so narrow we can barely move through it. We haven't found any new traces of life. Now we should be so deep, nothing can survive here. You can't hear any sound. The only one there would be our footsteps, but after hearing it for so long, my brain learned to ignore them. So it's the same as being in complete silence. However, the weirdest part is that even after such a long walk, I don't feel tired in the least. I'm not sleepy, hungry, or thirsty. I could perfectly keep walking without a rest. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's better not to think about it. I'm afraid the answer could do more hurt than well. Finally, I see the way opens, leading to a bigger chamber inside the cave. At the end, what I see shakes my very core. I'm so shocked I almost dropped the lamp, letting it fall and break in pieces and abandon us in the darkness. Maybe if I didn't see it, I could keep my sanity. Once more, the path divided into 3 narrow choices, just like the one before and the one before that. Are we walking in circles? Mary asked, confused, looking at the different paths before looking up to my pale face. I hold her hand tightly, not to give her strength, but for not falling apart in that very moment. That's what it looks like. Maybe we are picking up the wrong path, I said, faking calmness. Is there some kind of code across the cave? I can't tell, but it looks like we'll have to empty our choices, or else we won't be able to move forward, no matter how long it takes us. We're gonna go forward again. I can't drop the sensation of deja vu. I know I've done it before, however it doesn't seem like I have done it 2 or 3 times, but hundreds, even thousands. I could turn off the lamp and keep walking just with my memories, and I wouldn't trip, not even once. Maybe it's a lie, but that's how I feel at least. Trapped forever, repeating the same over and over again, without a reason. I take a deep breath, not knowing what to do, but now it seems I was only moving by inertia. An invisible force was pushing me, an unconscious action without any thought of reason behind it. Should we go back? Mary's voice makes me stop. I turn to her, finding a pair of eyes look at me with curiosity, blinking a couple times. I snort as I thought about it for an instant. I hate the idea of going back and losing all the progress we made. Without a doubt, I can't stay in here any longer. I think I'm losing my mind. Yes, we should go back, Mary, I said kindly with a sweet and fake smile. Definitely, we made the wrong choices. We can't yet discard the idea that crossing the cave, we can escape the forest, but by now, I don't care anymore. I only want to go back to the cabin and forget it. I sigh before turning around and starting to walk back. However, it wouldn't take long for me to stop again. Oh, best weak noise, like wolf sound ever. Suddenly I hear a low howl, so low and close that my blood turns to ice. I'm pale, knowing what it meant. Ah! Mary exclaimed, frightened, hugging me close. There's a wolf nearby. I took a deep breath, feeling my heart racing. I opened my mouth to say something, but before pronouncing a single word, I see a wolf appear right before us. Idiot, said the wolf with a groan, showing us later its fangs. Its eyes shine, reflecting the light of the lamp, just like its fangs. Slowly I walk back, being pushed by the image of the wolf. My heart beats so loud I feel it was coming out from my chest. I don't know what to do. There's no place to escape, and fighting sounds like it's the worst possible thing. The only thing left for me to do is continue walking back, always showing my face at the wolf that follows me closely, waiting for a distraction or slip to eat me. Mary sobs behind my back. She's dead scared, and with good reason. I feel so helpless I want to scream, or even fall on my knees and cry. It's so unfair, but that wouldn't help at all. Or maybe At that moment, there's a spark in my brain. I had forgotten something. I had a plan, right? That was just what I had to do. Scream from the bottom of my soul. Idiot! I then yelled, emptying all the air from my lungs. It's so loud it makes an echo across the whole cave. I even feel it tremble for an instant. The wolf exclaimed surprise, taking a step back. A scene that brightens my face and heart. I don't know what happened, if it understood me or was just the sound, but it seems to have an effect in it. And then, when I was getting ready to do it again, suddenly, I feel how Mary lets go of me and runs away. She seems to be crying. At that moment, I feel an intense cold cover my body. I don't know what happened, but it seems the wolf wasn't the only one scared by my yell. Mary! I yelled at the same time I run behind her. I couldn't leave her alone, even less in a dangerous place. In any case, even if I try to escape, the wolf is blocking the way. It's too narrow to avoid it. I keep on running until I see Mary's shape at the distance. Mary! I said, ignoring how she got so far in the darkness. Once again, there was an open space in the cave. Seems the pattern repeats itself without an end. She's standing still, hugging her sheep plushie tightly. There's something terribly wrong with that image. I can't explain what, but it makes me uncomfortable. When I get close to her, I don't know if I should scold her or just be thankful she's alright. So like a fool, I just stay quiet. Imbecile! Idiot! Worthless! Pathetic! I move the lamp to lighten what there is in front of us. There's no need for me to say it. A group of wolves stare deep at us, with all the intention of wanting to attack us. My very core shakes at that moment. I'm paralyzed. My mind can't think anything except that this is the end. Trash! Stinky ridiculous! Once again, the wolves make fun of us. They seem to understand our disgrace. It is then I realize something. As impossible as it sounds, all of this seems too familiar. My body finally reacts, raising my head to see at the wolves. They stare back at me with the glowing eyes full of hate. It is then that I remember what the message said. A frightful secret. My lips murmur. I feel curious, but at the same time, this is a very dire situation. I shouldn't take such a risk. What should I do? Let's look at them closely. I don't know why, but against all reason, I feel that escaping is not the right choice. In silence, I remember what the note said. I can't believe it's true, but at the same time, I can't ignore it. It's so simple, almost a trap. If you say something like, "Don't go there because it's secret," you'll end up with more curiosity. Honestly, I believe that was the intention of whoever wrote it. Now, if he did it out of malice or to help me is something I can't know until I try. Trash! Groans one of the wolves before getting closer to us with a jump, falling right in front of us. My heart skips a beat in fear. My instincts beg me to do something. But anything, but I don't hear them. Instead, I fix my sight on them. I observe the wolf's eyes. Its pupils are round, and it has a look full of arrogance. Gary! Mary exclaimed, frightened. At the same time, she hugs me. However, I don't let that distract me. I keep on looking at the beast's eyes without even blinking. What am I trying to find there? What do I expect to find? I ask myself that while losing myself in its eyes. Until finally, something moves inside of me, shaking my very core. It wasn't fear. It was more of as if all the pieces of a puzzle had suddenly put themselves in their place. That look is familiar to me. So are the words I say. At some moment I had seen and heard them before, not only from a wolf. Yes, it's all clear now. Idiot! The wolf groaned furiously before hearing what sounded like laughter from the others. I'm surprised at how little I care at that moment. What made me tremble in terror just a few seconds ago, now it's so irrelevant, like a stone in the way. Their eyes tell me the truth of these talking wolves. Without thinking, I slowly take the lamp and increase the intensity of the light. The wolves shriek, confused, and the closer one takes a step back. Gary? Mary calls my name, confused. She has tears in her eyes along with a fragile look. Seeing her like that melts my heart. Yes, now it's clear to me how to exit the forest. There's no right way, but there also aren't any wrong ways. You only have to move on. I tenderly pet her head and smile. Come on, let's get out of here, I said, perfectly calmed at the same time I offered her my hand. She looks at me, surprised, with her eyes wide open as if I had said something impossible. To her, it must seem like it, but to say the truth it's very simple. What about the wolves? She asked, trembling. It's fine. Just ignore them. They can't do anything if you're not afraid of them. It's simply unbelievable the calmness in which I say that. She looks at me, full of doubt, but finally giving me her hand, which I kindly hold. And without saying a word, I start to walk with my eyes looking forward. The wolves groan, howl, say many words, which doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even look at them. I forget them completely while slowly walking, with the lamp at the highest intensity and without bothering to hide my steps. Mary closes her eyes, frightened. She holds my hand tightly while hugging her plushie. She is expecting them to attack us at any second. The next one, or the one after. And yet, time kept on going without that moment to ever come. The wolves strangely take too long to react. Even Mary opens her eyes, confused. I know the answer. They are not wolves. Their appearance is that of a beast, but their inside is different. It's something I know along with many other people. Why are they not doing anything? Mary said, confused, looking up to my face. I blink before calmly speaking. They're already doing it. This is all they can do. She exclaimed, confused at the same time. She turned her head to see them, trying to understand what I meant. I gently smiled as I prepared to explain to her. Do you hear them? They're making fun of us, but they can't do anything beyond that. That's all. Mary blinks in confusion. The change was too sudden. Basically, I had put her world upside down. Gently, I pet her head, giving her a moment to think about it. Mary, the wolves are very noisy, but they can't hurt you if you don't let their words affect you. Just ignore them, and you'll be safe. After saying that, I turn my sight forward. Now with the light at its highest intensity, I think I can see the path at the distance. I'm sure that's the exit. They block our way, but if you ignore them and keep on going, you'll get out without a problem. Don't be afraid. That's it? Mary stares at me surprised. Her eyes seem to shine just from looking at me, as if I was someone amazing. At this moment, I should look like it. That's it. Come on. Don't pay them attention. I said, soon leaving the wolves behind, who, being so pathetic, don't even follow us. Their words only hurt when you allow them to do so. That's why, if you ignore them, they become completely inoffensive. As we walk, I realize I was right. I can see sunlight entering the cave. We must be very close. I can't hide my excitement rushing my steps. We're almost there, Mary, I said, overflowed with joy. To which she answered with a nod and a big smile. And then finally, we managed to cross the exit. I opened my eyes, surprised, feeling a gentle wind caress my face. Before my eyes, there's a green meadow under the sun, so different from the haunted forest from before. And at the distance, I think I can see a village. "We're out!" exclaimed Mary, excited, before suddenly hugging me with all of her affection. I can't help but blush. My heart stops for an instant from the surprise, only to later beat full of a warm love. "Yes, we are out," murmured my lips full of pride. But just seeing it, I can be sure this is a better place for her. Here she won't have to live alone, hiding in the darkness. She won't have to avoid making noise or calling the attention. "How did you know?" She looks up to my eyes, staring at me with curiosity. I scratch my cheek shyly. I just realized their intentions. Maybe it was a poor answer, but it was enough. Even without understanding it completely, Mary seemed pleased. She breaks the hug and takes a few steps toward the village at the distance. "Do you think I'll be better than in the cabin?" "Yeah, I'm sure of it. Don't be shy and keep going. It won't be very bad to stop after coming so far." Mary goes quiet for a moment. I see how the wind moves her hair as she thinks, being the only sound heard. Then she turns around, looking right into my eyes. "Thank you so much," she said, giving me a radiant smile. So beautiful. I feel grateful. However, it only lasts for an instant, each time to be recorded in my mind before disappearing. Suddenly, everything becomes blurry. I lose sight of what's in front of me, seeing it quickly transform into something else. It happened almost as fast as a blink. Alright, we have unlocked the story of Mary. So alright guys, we'll get into this dream later. We'll stop here for now. And I will see y'all next time. So until then, have a good one.